On April 24th, 2020, I decided to become pescatarian. Well, it didn't exactly start like that. I came downstairs and declared to my family that I was going to be vegan. After searching my cabinets for a bit, I realized at my house, that was going to be difficult. It lasted 10 minutes. I then amended my declaration to say I would be vegetarian. Although a bit longer, this one also didn't last maybe a few hours. I then made one final modification. I would be pescatarian. Think about a time in your life when you made a decision on a whim. There was no driving force besides the fact that it just felt right. You couldn't explain it. People continued to ask you why, and you couldn't give them a reason. It was simply what you needed to do. It's been almost 2 years, and I've seen a multitude of ways that my life has changed. When I first became pescatarian, it didn't mean nearly as much to me as it does now. I didn't know the true impact that one choice could have on my entire life. No one else in my family's pescatarian, so this choice came solely from myself. When I first announced my big decision, my family was supportive, but a bit confused. They wanted to know why. I didn't have a reason for them. I simply told them it was something I wanted to try. It was the middle of quarantine, and I had a lot of time on my hands to search through the internet and watch TV. Through that, I found myself coming across people who were pescatarian more and more, and I took interest. I found myself wondering if I too should try it. After all, I'd heard of the benefits it reaps from a healthier lifestyle to protecting the animals and saving the environment. To be clear, at the start of this, I wasn't someone who made this choice solely for the environment. To be perfectly honest, I really didn't know much about the environmental impact besides the fact that it was good. But as time goes on, I realize that's one of the main reasons why I'm sticking with this lifestyle, because of the environment. It feels good to know that something I'm doing is making a small impact, even if it goes unnoticed. So with minimal knowledge of what I was getting myself into, I took on this new lifestyle, ready to learn along the way. One factor that was an unexpected benefit was my mentality. Not only does this change the way I view all of life's challenges, but comes with small benefits too. I realized something can either go well for you or not, based on the way you view it. I learned to change my perspective on my situation and how predetermined opinions can dramatically influence the outcome of an experience. I went into this thinking it was going to be difficult. I wasn't wrong. That was the first time I'd made such a significant change in my life. But as time went on, I found myself adapting to life with that new perspective that if I looked for a way to make it work, it would. So instead of just giving up, I can always persist to make any situation easier. This is extremely beneficial with my schoolwork. If I don't understand how to do something, most of the time that happens in math, I can ask questions or continue to try until it makes sense. So instead of giving up foods I once enjoyed before becoming pescatarian, I can modify them to a way that works for me. Looking for common meat substitutes has come in handy to ensure I can enjoy similar dishes as before. Now, learning to adapt has also come into play with group projects. I've started with an original idea, but after talking and discussing as a group, we've decided to go another way, different from my original route, but that's okay, because I made adjustments along the way. There have also been obstacles I didn't even consider when I became pescatarian. Something you don't think about too often is what you order when you go out to eat. Think about your favorite meal. Everyone has them. Different restaurant, different meal. For me, one of my absolute favorite meals was spaghetti and meatballs. Any Italian restaurant I went to, that would be my order. Obviously, I've had to make some modifications to that order, but it's opened up my eyes to new foods. Before this, I never really ate much fish, but now, that's the main source of protein I get. One could say I'm expanding my horizons, opening new doors, turning over new leaves, whatever you want to call it. I know that the choices I make, no matter how small or insignificant they might seem, can hold greater power than meets the eye. By standing out and sticking with what I want, I've learned to appreciate and value my voice more. Now, something I wish I could say came from this experience was an ability to cook. Sadly, I'm still a terrible cook, but I have learned how to find recipes that don't have meat in them for my family to cook. Now, I've really learned a lot about myself through this experience. I'm willing to try new foods. I can adapt to situations, and determination is key. So if you were to ask me today my reasoning for becoming pescatarian, I would say because it makes me who I am. So I challenge you to get out there, try something new. Even if you don't have a reason, go for it. You never know what might happen. Thank you.